absolutely no setup for this, so this is literally just like a raw Twitch stream with nothing on it.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at these guys. I've never seen these men in my life. I've never seen these men in my life.
Let's mute that.
I'm back.
And we're giving those guys time to get their picks. I'm just gonna stick.
So, how's everyone doing on this Sunday?
Good. You know, hungover is all hell. So hungover. You know, the regular Sunday hangover. The pleasant kind.
I usually work on Sundays. I can't remember the last time I was drinking on a Saturday.
I don't normally. I just have a hat and Ushiner over at the moment, like the waffle and diddles.
Like I had, am I right?
There we go. We're finally getting somewhere. So just for context, people, this is Phoenix Knight versus Pashas Soldiers. We're looking at round 1 of the Dota Ireland League.
This is the first game of the Division 1.
It's not the first game of the Division 1, but it's one of the first round games.
Exciting. We're in an exciting place right now.
So we still don't have our little meta yet.
We haven't developed. I mean, there's going to be a patch tomorrow, so it's going to be it's going to be the only game of the league played on this patch.
Imagine Dota patch arriving on time. Impossible.
I mean,
Never happens.
I mean, they rarely they wouldn't give us an exact date if they weren't going to hit it. I don't think, but we'll see.
Entirely unrelated, but League has announced a new champion that's basically Invoker.
That's cool. I mean, wait, no, are we allowed to advertise that? we might get our finances pulled if we advertise League of Legends stuff on this channel. I've never heard of that game in my life. I don't know what you're talking about. Wishfire's having a stroke. All right, Primal Beast, Night Stalker. That must be specific, right? That's something you're terrified of. That's gotta be that's either protecting something or there goes the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah.
Spirit Breaker Primal Beast makes sense. Night Stalker is way too specific.
They might have like a pick in mind with it. It's not super meta at the minute, unless it's a very targeted ban.
Yeah. It's like it might be like Dazzle. Like it's if you're gonna first pick Dazzle, banning out Night Stalker is probably a smart idea. Like that's all like, but like there's other better heroes to ban first, like Ancient Apparition and whatnot. So I'm kind of, it must be a specialty thing, especially considering Night Stalker is a hero you could really like just bully the shit out of if you see him coming. Like he's not a particularly strong laner.
Unless their actual strat is to pick Phoenix every game.
Maybe, yeah.
Phoenix Knights also hasn't really played a ton of captains together, so
Yeah.
it is fully possible they're just banning things they don't like playing against.
That's fair. Spirit Breaker, Grimstroke both make more sense, but it's a first ban Night Stalker.
No, the other bans are perfectly reasonable. The Night Stalker is a little funky.
I mean, it's certain heroes you just never want to play against. That's totally fine. Night Stalker is one that could easily traumatize you. Everyone's got that hero they wish was just permanently removed from the game.
Oh god.
Vengeful Spirit, interesting. Okay. So what's through? A lot of very strong heroes are through. Dazzle,
Chaos Knight's through,
CK,
Treant.
Treant, Kunkka.
That's also a weird one, right? Like even in very high level, his pick rate and win rate isn't that high.
Who?
It seems to be very cheesy. Dazzle.
Yeah.
Like very early pick Dazzles don't tend to do that well. They tend to do well if they're picked up later on.
I think that's actually fair. I think he is broken. I think he's just very difficult to play, and he's very Spirit Breakery. Like once you get to hit the late game, it actually kind of.
He's absolutely busted early. He's absolutely busted late game.
It's the art.
But most Dota games currently end in mid game.
That's fair. Yeah, I think.
So you're playing this kind of weird thing where you're like, I will win if we bring this late, but what's the likelihood of that happening a lot of the time?
I'm curious here with like the insider info. Are we just going to see an immediate snap up Jesse Kunkka if it's not first pick here?
Oh, yeah, that's another thing that's not banned.
AA, okay, AA. AA is such a brutal one to let through. Like it feels so bad to play against. Is that ulti? Like it's always brutal.
It's just so good in the meta at the minute of like tanky boys that want to sit and regen health as well. Primal banned, but CK Primal, they're all heroes that just survive.
Like Bristle's just off the table now. Like you can't really play Bristle back into Ancient Apparition. Like you just don't. It's borderline undoable. Shadow
I feel
Demon
fairly
is an interesting
obligated
stuff.
to ban it now as well, because the other team can still play it.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Isn't like it cuts off so many opportunities for the enemy team and just enables you, right? Because he lanes
The
well
first
with like
like
a
Shadow
centaur
Demon
or
feels
something.
weird, right? Like, it's not that it's a bad pick by any means. It's a good pick. It just doesn't feel like it's getting banned here. So, like...
What
And
was?
they're definitely not... The Shadow Demon.
Oh
Like, it
yeah,
doesn't feel like it's getting banned in the next
yeah,
2 bans. And it also
yeah,
definitely isn't being picked with the AA.
yeah.
So it feels like you can just throw it off till later.
And they could have taken like
Or
Kunkka
could
isn't
take...
bad into Ancient Apparition as far as like tanky heroes go, right? Like
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
pretty solid.
Kunkka... There's other things, like Muerta is still on the table, which is like nuts into A.
Treant, no one took Treant. Like
Yeah, I'm actually not huge on Treant into A for like if you're snap first picking it, but Treant is absolutely busted.
yeah, like it's not perfect, but it's like a trade. It's entirely acceptable. It's an acceptable, or like even CK. Yeah, he doesn't like getting AA blasted, but he can also just absolutely obliterate the Ancient Apparition if he
Yeah.
sees him for a fraction of a second. So there's a lot of heroes that are very good that are on the table right now that are just I feel like they're being left through. But maybe Phoenix Knights have this like a plan in mind.
I think Treant as well is kind of a matter of taste for a lot of pos fives and a lot of teams in general.
Interesting. These are that's a one way to deal with the AA. Like he's just food if you can get on top of him. And I do like the Shadow Demon. I do think he's a very good support that is often underpicked, and he's very good against a lot of the meta stuff. Like the break is really strong, but it's just and the slow is incredibly powerful. But
I
like it
didn't
just
dislike
feels
the pick by any means. I just
yeah.
don't think they needed it right there.
The
Like
order is like yeah, the
it's
pick
also
order.
because now that they know there's a Shadow Demon, you just don't pick things that can be saved, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, unless I'm very mistaken, it doesn't break without Ags now, right? Am I just very...
I
Yeah,
mean,
you need
it doesn't
Ags
break
to
without
break.
Axe, but the Axe is so powerful. Though it might be a bit of a tall order. Wraith King, very good. Like a very good hero, very good laner, very strong. I'm like he's a bit prone to getting bullied. I think. If his lane goes really poorly, it's like the CK thing where it's like he's really strong as a carry because if his lane goes poorly, he can do that whole farming the camps behind the tower sort of thing, and just like get farm like that. But if you play him offlane, if you get bullied out, like there's nowhere for you to go. You kind of just get the ancient creeps and that one big hard camp, and that's kind of everything that you have access to because you can't go walk past the tower.
Fuck me, an Assassin. That's a blast from the past.
Interesting pick. I'm more so because Nyx is a really strong hero, but or like he's really good. He's a really strong hero in the context of Dota that doesn't have lanes.
He's a really strong hero in the context of Dota 3 months ago.
No, it's not like he kills shit and he's really good at killing stuff and like the damage is useful and whatnot. But it's just like it's if Dota started in the mid game, he'd be a really solid hero right now. But the problem is you have to lane with the Nyx assassin.
But you're laning against a Shadow Demon, right? So you're just not that bothered.
I mean, he can stack shit up on you. He can bully you out. Absolutely. And it depends on what the final pick is here. But like he can
He can, but it's always a slow kind of ongoing thing. You're not going to get jumped and burst, right?
Again, we don't know what the final matchup is, but I imagine like this kind of Wraith King plus see, it's very scary. Like Wraith King plus Nyx Assassin, I don't think is a viable lane. Really? Like I just don't think it's particularly good.
I think
like Phoenix
if their
Knights have
game
their own
plan is
ideas.
literally just get through the lane phase without dying, it's double stun and a good answer to Gyro in the form of Carapace. Against, admittedly, Shadow Demon might run havoc if he like plays it absolutely out of his mind, stacks poisons like really well. He might just run away with the lane. But it's asking like pretty much perfect player to the Shadow Demon and for the Nyx and the Wraith King to not just stun lock you out of the game.
No. Like there's no they have to get a couple levels and the first levels are going to be pretty brutal. Like it needs to be like level 3 or 4 before they can really pose much of a threat. We'll see.
Well, I don't think they want to
be double,
threat, right? I
it
think
would
they
also be
want
double ranged into double
hit the
melee.
lane
But we'll
until
see. It's impossible to tell now. We can only see when the draft runs out. It might be a position 1 Wraith King, and the Nyx Assassin might be paired with something else. It might be a jungle Wraith King. They might be bringing that back. Who knows?
Oh.
Ooh, okay. Interesting. Oh, it could be Clockwork Gyrocopter. It could be a 5 clock.
I'm pretty sure the clock will be 4 and it'll be Jesse unless he decides he's playing 3 this tournament.
The Clockwork 4 is making me think, or the Clockwork
very
is making me
Jesse
think he's Clock 4.
Yeah,
feels very him.
It's a very Jesse hero.
There was one thing I wanted to...
I also have been seeing him play a lot of 4 lately, so maybe.
I kind of like this draft from Phoenix Knight does not strike me as particularly meta unless the meta has shifted a lot since TI. I haven't been watching that many games, but it seems pretty cohesive. I kind of like what they're going for here. I
mean, Gyro Shadow Demon is kind of an old school kill lane.
Yeah, it's like I like it. It works. I like the draft so far. They've got a Centaur now who's more of a meta hero. Maybe feels not great into AA, but just blows people the fuck up. You know, good work.
I'm curious, just because we were talking about Shadow Demon and Nyx, the interaction with Stacks and Carapace. Does Nyx Carapace?
You need to time it so
well. You need to time it, right? Yeah.
But they need to. Yeah, they can pop it at any time, so realistically, it only works if it times out.
Yeah.
Or if you just happen to God mode it.
Yeah.
Like, in a sense, there's a bit of a mind game, but it's a mind game that Shadow Demon has an insane advantage in.
Of course, but like, no, I was just asking.
But yes, if you had many stacks on you, it would block all the stacks. It's all 1 instance of damage. Oh, Tidehunter.
Okay, so it's a safe lane ranking.
Yeah.
So it's Tidehunter Nyx. They're
That's
doubling down on the we're just gonna like kind of farm and try and
get the Nyx to 6, let him go play the game. Don't fight, don't try and do anything. Like the Tide will just safest way through this lane. Tide is horrific for Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
They both feel like very conventional drafts, as like just we sit around our carry kind of, or like play around the carry 100%.
I like the draft.
I think the Phoenix Knight draft really wants to fight, right? They want to like get the Shadow Demon Centaur clock, and they want to get roaming, they want to kill things. Whereas the Pashas Soldiers draft, I mean, the Invoker just kind of wants to farm probably up until like a Midas plus. The Wraith King definitely wants to farm for a while. Tide doesn't really wander for fighting.
I think they need tempo. I think they need another skill thing, because I'm not sure if the Shadow Demon Clockwork Centaur is enough to get the kind of stuff done that they need to get done. Like, I don't think it's the damage. I don't think they have the damage enough.
I'd like something global. A Zeus maybe.
Zeus, yeah, actually. Like I would say,
Dazzle probably just gets minced in lane by the Invoker.
Void Spirit, that can do it.
I would imagine that's.
And if it gets out of the lane. Pick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but it will work.
Oh, it's Red Sea. I think he used to play carry in the last league, if I remember right. So this is probably pretty new info.
It's gonna be a hard lane to get out of in like a good state. Because sure, the first few levels might go fine, but as Invoker starts to pick up, you're gonna start taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think all of the lanes go the way of Pashas. Like, I think Wraith King AA is very good into Clockwork in plus. Like, as long as Wraith King and AA play together, like, I feel like that becomes very difficult for a Clockwork.
I mean, that lane's very down to the Clockwork, right? If he can catch the AA, he'll kill the AA, but the Wraith King is completely irrelevant to him. He summons skeletons, and now the Clockwork doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But if he catches the AA, he kills the AA.
Yeah, so it's like, but like, I feel like that's advantage AA Wraith King, because I think they just stand near the creep wave and harass, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, there's no going. Like, you have to catch the Ancient Apparition out, which, I mean, means, in other words, the A needs to make a mistake. So I think
kind of Dota, though, right? Like, if you play perfectly, your lanes go great.
It's like, all else equal, like, if they play of equal skill, then Wraith King AA will maybe rinse them, to be honest. I think it depends on how good of a start Centaur gets.
Because at a certain point, argument to be made in that case that Gyro is essentially, like, if the lanes go perfectly, Gyro essentially is free farming. Like, if we're assuming perfect skill, the Tide doesn't stop the Gyro farming at all. But, like, assuming perfection is hard. Oh my god, my camera didn't break. It's like Christmas.
We all just gonna... Do we have, like, a person for the camera?
I'd say we just use Mousy. Mousy, you want to stream?
How do we use Mousy?
He streams.
Oh, we're gonna be watching his stream?
Yeah, Dota doesn't actually have a great way of setting this up.
We were on the broadcaster channel, were we not? This has kind of broken for me. I'm stuck on player view. So
yeah.
Let's see what happens here. Can I pull it off? Okay, I think that might work now. No, it just pulls me back to player view every 2 seconds.
That's happened to me many a time. This is gonna be... I mean, I'm sharing screen for you, but...
5,
Not gonna work great
Like,
for Maxie's screen. It's gonna lag a lot.
I think you took control of the camera whenever you joined the broadcaster, Josh. So maybe that's
Possibly. In which case, I'll just leave it to you next time and you can do it. Either which way, Pashas soldiers just got first blood on the gyro. They caught them trying to sneak out for a bit of a fight. It was a 5v5. They went 1-for-1.
Makes sense. Oh, I'm just thinking myself.
Can you try dragging your camera, Josh? Just see what happens.
I'm putting on smooth toggle for you. How do I put on smooth toggle again?
No idea.
The smooth drag thing.
Clockwork rocketing to the top of the last hits denies by buying one of his own cogs, presumably.
And now we're seeing a bit of a skirmish, but
Red Zab, I think, might be dead here.
Is he actually going to go down?
Yeah.
He must have leveled the skills already. He could have got out with
Rip.
W.
Okay, rough start.
Well, I think he leveled it during the first fight. Like he didn't level it.
He
just...
leveled Q, did he?
That was the second fight to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
So both our kills here.
Camp's blocked.
One Warlock, or one, and yeah, straight unblocked. Really heads up as well, checking up there straight away.
Yeah, the Exhort Invoker, is that, how common is that? I mean, I can definitely see the logic.
Who fucking knows? Like it's.
Yeah.
I think you just take it for the Sunstrike level 1. Like,
that's also
I'm
true.
not
He's
sure
also
he'll
just...
stay Exhort. I think Wex is generally like the thing you do now. Or at the
Okay,
very
he
least,
doesn't
you
get the
gotta
damage
go
in
pause for a
snap,
cold snap.
I think Exhort came up a little bit again just because obviously everyone went for Wex after the patch because of how strong that CDR was.
Yeah.
It has like shifted a little bit back just because as people realize it's not quite as good as
Top lane?
Yeah, maybe.
Really not working out for the Shadow Demon.
Big creep wave. No. Really aggressive, really. But they can just get the pulls off. I think that top is likely just to be like a pretty...
I mean, with the kill on the... Or with the death already into the gyro, like, he's doing fine in CS, and he should do fine in CS, but this Tide is eventually going to hit, like, Meteor Hammer, and then it's going to be pretty done. Until then, how much can they deny him, right?
This broken camera is really making it difficult. So we're just going to be sticking on lanes, really?
I will shout if something breaks out that you're not seeing.
Top lanes.
Oh, they're going for Shadow Demon again.
Really.
Yeah, they've got him. Oh, maybe not.
Oh,
there we go with the next. Yeah, as you said, it's really not working out for them here.
Yeah, I mean, he was very far forward there, and he's getting caught using disruption. Like, I don't know if you'd call that aggressively, but like if he's in position to be slowed like that and gone on like that, and doesn't have disruption after the stun, like.
Yeah, they're just gonna. I think it is.
They have a serious range advantage in that lane. That's pretty much all they've got going for it now.
Yeah, Tide's a little like he's taking damage, but it's just the burst kill on the Shadow Demon is pretty rough at the moment. Like the Nyx getting levels here is really bad.
Yeah, the Nyx getting out of lane early is the biggest fear in the world here, right?
Yeah.
Also, like the camp's blocked up. They body blocked their own big pull camp, which they'd like to be using right now.
Like like this game isn't gonna get better for the Shadow Demon.
Oh, mid lane.
Mid, yeah, mid. Red Zab
never mind.
almost
He's turning
went for a kill. Is he gonna die?
It is
for
Quas Exorc, by the way.
So close.
No, misses the Sunstrike. Nearly dies for it as well.
Seems pretty even so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got his bottle delivered. Good job, buddy. Man. Yeah, he's definitely. My mid matchups aren't phenomenal. Mousy, maybe you can correct me on this, but I would assume this would be Invoker favored, right?
It should be a little bit Invoker favored. Well, I mean, it's really hard to say with the way stats come in with Universal Heroes now. Because they're both Universal, probably not terrible for either side, but it's probably going to really result in a bit of a farm fest.
Yeah, just missed out on a whole bunch of experience stuff there. I think that was a
top lane. They're having another crack. The Shadow Demon. Oh, very nice. Fairy Fire.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, Fairy Fires it perfectly.
Yeah, but again, was he using this disruption aggressively there, or like I
didn't catch it that time, but unless he's getting
caught,
Nyx is going down.
He's 15-1 charges. I don't think he is.
Never mind. One charges. Also one charges.
Yeah. Jesse James tries for a gank towards mid, doesn't connect.
Level 2 with Void Spirit, he's just going to press W and get out, surely, unless they bait him into using it first.
I know Jesse is with the Void Spirits. They would have been going for
Invoker. Sorry, yeah, I'm thinking wrong here.
Oh, and Void Spirit. Ooh.
Yeah, I think he's in trouble.
No, he got that uphill miss. The uphill miss might have saved him. Yep, looks like it.
Yeah, but blinks his ass there about the Quasixord as well, so he would be the resident Invoker player, I would say. We'll go with what he says.
Like, from what I've seen lately, I've mostly seen Quasixord, but I assumed it was a meme. But realistically, how much Invoker are you seeing lately?
Yeah, not much.
They almost killed the Centaur?
Again,
they maybe do kill the Centaur. The skeleton. Jesus Christ.
And Jesse's committing for this AA. So I don't think he's getting.
Ooh, they missed the Sunstrike again.
Oops, alright. He didn't do that intentionally.
Is Jesse
okay, they made it out. But... Yeah, Jesse makes it out. He gets his wander away.
Those skeletons, man, absolutely shredded him.
They do some work.
He might be able to take a crack at the Wraith King. Yeah, that accidental buyback definitely costing him a little bit. I feel like
it'll cost him a bit when he dies next, right? Like this death, it's not the end of the world, but the next death, the additional time is gonna like add up. Because there's a little bit of money lost, but you can make an argument to make up for an experience money gained. But
we see Clockwork TP up towards top. So that's
gonna happen
up here.
Going for a full health.
Do they have kill potential? Yeah, I'm not.
This doesn't
he's got a lot of stacks.
He's just level 2 wave to mitigate all their damage as well, unless they
isolate him.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's a lot of damage, but
it takes a lot of damage. But like, I think there was a world where they do something there. No.
Oh no, this is looking very bad for Gyro as well.
Yeah. He's
dead. Wow, very good turn there from Pashas.
Interesting note as well. The Shadow Demon's leveled Disseminate.
I think he's gonna make a go on mid
I don't think
before
that's the thing you level
6.
a lot early lately. Just because the hero's like so mana hungry.
Brutal. Very scary. Now, bot.
This has left the Wraith King like alone with the Centaur though, which was not bad for either of them necessarily. It's definitely better than the previous situation for the Centaur.
Oh, looks like a grow's happening top. They might. I think the Nyx. I think they're on the board. Yes, they're on the board. I don't think they get more than that.
They have 4-man ganked the Nyx Assassin.
Oh, and a
lost for mid laner.
And
look, to be fair, at this point you're happy with whatever you can get.
Yeah, they're on the board.
Yeah, Invoker's just farming up though. He's probably going to rush the Midas at this point. He's only 500 off.
2k advantage at 7 minutes is pretty rough.
Tide has finished his Meteor Hammer.
Yeah, that tower is coming down.
Racing going for a Blade Mail though.
Interesting.
Looking to play really active.
Yeah.
I think Man just appreciates the meta. Man enjoys.
I think there's a possibility you can put a considerable amount of pressure on this Gyrocopter to not really be able to farm at all. Same with like as a Centaur, you really want to come out of the laning phase and farm. Like the hero just farms so quickly. That's part of why he's so strong. So it would be like them capitalizing on this advantage would really just devastate the game.
That's you noted about the net worth difference, Kane.
Yeah.
That's almost all in mid as well. This Red Siab is
he's
below the Nyx in experience or in net worth. Really not having a good time in mid right now.
Well, I mean, the guy like those 7 graces, the guy like the Gyrocopter is doing pretty well. Not like great, but pretty well. Centaur isn't doing phenomenally, but it's not the worst. And then poor Red Ziab just had an awful lane. Just a terrible lane match.
They're gonna move on mid lane though.
Maybe
it's very slowly, but yeah, it seems like they all collapsed to make a move and then just thought better of it.
They desperately need a Centaur blink. Like there's no way for them to even really start fights.
That's a long way away. He's not even got that lined up.
Yeah. Oh no, he's not going for the phase boots. Yeah, he's going back for the blink. That makes sense.
Okay, fair enough.
It's always, I suppose, a bit of an easy call when you have a Tide, but like the counter initiate on Radiant is so good.
No. Yeah, almost just immediately dying before he can get anything off. Trying to dodge a Sunstrike. That isn't happening. Yeah, he's just traumatized.
Invoker really turning that into from potential for a gank, the other two immediately leave again because they just have nothing to do now that Seab's lost all his health.
He doesn't have any boots.
Though, just
he
like
should definitely
wandering
have boots.
around the top jungle, keeping that gyro under tower.
Oh, he loses his rune to 500. Yeah, he's like being out, like level 6, just completely being out.
Stuff happening on the bot lane here.
Oh, they're going again. It's the
I think there's
Vanguard.
going to be a whole lot of nothing if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. The Vanguard keeps him alive, but there's also no potential to turn.
Mid lane though. Nyx is
kind of
coming
stands
in.
behind the
Nyx wants this ult used.
Yeah. And he's gonna walk for it.
Oh, it's gonna be
that was
disgusting
excessive.
kill. Yeah.
That was not necessary. Either one of those would have been fine.
They used every stun in one go, even cold snap was used there. It was they really wanted to make sure that man's having no game.
He's gonna be stunned when he respawns. That's the level of absolutely obliterated that dude was. Poor guy.
And AA is just absolutely chilling.
Yeah, the AA is just like sitting behind stuff. He's a little under leveled. Like
I don't think you care. Like as soon as you hit 6, you're done. Like you're happy. Your primary use in this game is online. You can sit a mile back and farm then if you want to. Like his whole goal at the moment is get his rating up to a point where he can solo lane against basically anything, which I think Blade Mail is pretty close to that point. At least that's always how I play anyway. Get till your carry can solo and do whatever they want, and then leave and never come back. Yeah, so he's like stacking up the jungle for him now. He did just double stack. He missed. He went for a triple stack, but one of the camps was already farmed.
Phase boots coming out on Centaur.
Oh, he did go for the phase.
He did go for the phase in the end.
We're gonna the noose is really just tightening here. Look at the level of map usage. Like it's like 11 minutes into the game, and the dire side are just penned in to I'm gonna say 25% of the map.
Yeah.
Tied.
Including their base.
They tried to make a move on the AA, and I think it's going to turn into the Scent because... Oh, no! Nice dodge. Okay.
And camera is doing the thing again, so I missed all that.
They went on the... Scent tried to go on the AA, they turned it around on him, he ulted as a Nyx came out of invis and tried to stun him. It was a nice dodge. It basically just washed out to nothing. Scent ulted away from a big attempt on him. Meanwhile, Tide is just chilling top lane, slowly meteor hammering down that tower. Tide's going for Vlad's second though. They're looking for a nice quick game.
Yeah, I think.
However, Wraith King is going back for Radiance.
I can appreciate that they don't want to take chances. It's a thing in this meta that you lose one high ground push and the game's over. So, or the game's back to square one kind of. So,
I haven't seen Vlad's in a while.
Take that early game strength.
I think
and just
it runs the same general reasoning as getting early drums and stuff, where you're look, if we're ahead, we want to stay ahead, we want to keep pushing, or we want to fight as a team whenever available. But the Vlad's just pays off slightly better for the Tide himself than just getting a drums. Drums is a very supporty item. Nyx going for Dagon, which absolutely no one is surprised by. And AA wishes
best little bug life.
Yeah, AA just wishes he had money.
Just channeling from your own experience, I imagine.
At a certain point, you kind of enjoy it. There's some deep level of masochism in it.
Oh, this Nyx assassin is ready to go. He's looking for somebody.
Fuck me, yes he is. He's found the stacks though, so they know about them now. They want to fight, kill people there, and take the
they're
stack.
just gonna take them, right?
They just don't have vision out here for the Nyx.
I kind of don't
It felt like they knew though.
I kind of don't like how many stacks Dire have made because they just don't have the facility to protect them. Void Spirit made a 4-stack as well towards top jungle, and if Tide sees that, or if Invoker sees that, they just take it, and there's nothing Dire can do about it.
I think Centaur really should have done those earlier.
Yeah, I agree with you on the top one, but the bot side ones, there was the supports making them for Centaur. He had the facilities to take them for quite a while.
Yeah, well, as soon as you get Vanguard, that's viable. You can do it.
Yeah, and that's how you get your money as a forward. Yeah. In this kind of a game, obviously, another kind of game, not so much. But...
Centaur's just gone. He's made a paper. There's the burst coming out from.
Look, they took the Nyx out of that. They just swung that from 7 to 1 kills to 10 to 2. That is a good ratio. You gotta
Definitely better. Yeah.
look at the bright. No, it's really not. They're
Percentage-wise,
very far behind, but yes.
Yeah. So you know.
Yeah.
Harmonic. It's a harmonic
look on
meme.
the upsides. Look on the upsides.
What's the way out of them for this? They're gonna need like Gyrocopter's just gonna die immediately, right? Like there's no.
So Gyro needs to finish the Zags. Then Gyro needs to finish a Chrysalis. Then they need Dire Radiant to make a very serious mistake. I don't think you even need BKB in this game. I think you just need Satanic.
I think they're gonna catch the Gyro here. I think can the Nyx Assassin solo him? He's on like 80%.
There's a Sentry, so he shouldn't be able to. But in theory, maybe.
Interesting.
What's Nyx's combo at the moment? 300 plus 112.
Is in a little bit of danger. I think he's aware.
No, Nyx's combo trying to kill him right now. He does actually have quite a bit of health, but Nyx's combo followed up by a second might. The Shadow Demon on the other hand.
Good read from the Gyrocopter, realizing that like top lane is not viable. Like you can't be there. I'm surprised he got away with farming there for as long as he did. But now you've got the Centaur and the Gyrocopter who both need to farm the same part of the map, and it's apps. And that's without the throwing in a horribly starved Void Spirit in on top of that problem. Like the map is just way too small right now. The Nyx just closes off so much of it because just by virtue of being terrifying. Oh, they're making it go on the Invoker. All right, maybe.
I feel like the Centaur has to take advantage of the fact that, like,
absolutely insane counter as well.
I feel like the Cent needs to start playing like a psycho, basically, to like try and get some farm. Because he oh my god, the follow up as well.
I mean, I think. It makes
just to get some farm, because the Gyrocopter has to farm that side of the map. The safe farm has to go to Gyro at this point. So
I do not envy the Centaur's position. I don't know what the real right play is in this situation because he also needs to farm. Now he's like what he's doing now makes sense.
I think this is what he's doing. Yeah, you cut, you run into their jungle, you farm their jungle, you regret the fact that you only have 3 levels in return.
Yeah. I mean, like it's like he didn't fully max out double edge, so it's fine. This is kind of, I think his build, like his skill build is reasonable. They're gonna try and make it go. Ravage is down. Vendetta is down.
They have a vision advantage here.
Yeah, they do have vision, and I guess they could potentially kill the.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Nyx
is down.
Okay.
Nyx is gonna be done for. Oh, Jesse James finds the AA on the back line. Stormworks. Is he gonna go down at all? No. But Centaur will finish him off, I think.
They did get the Nyx though, and they got the AA.
That was good. That was an unapologetically good turn of events for Dire, which is
that is a
so far been rare. Yeah, things are looking up. That was well done.
The Wraith King did just finish the video.
Yeah, 1.2k gold swing as well.
Yeah, so that's something. Wraith King has Radiance, which means Shadow Demon hits a power spike. Hooray!
It was an interesting choice to decide to go for it.
I think not getting it just because of Shadow Demon is usually a bait.
Yeah, just like it doesn't matter.
So, like your team can deal with it. Like plus, if he's disrupting you, sure he gets Radiance, but then he's not using disruption defensively, which is why you pick the hero.
Yeah.
Like I just don't think it's that much of an issue right now.
It may prove to be one later, at which point get good and learn to toggle.
Yeah. This I really do not. Like the support duo here. Like I think it's started to highlight the issue of having Shadow Demon and Clockwork. That this support duo can do nothing together. Like there is 0 teamwork potential between these two individuals. Like they don't. There's no kill potential on anything between the two of them. Like
if you win your lane, if you're ahead at this point, right, and you haven't been absolutely demolished in lanes, then you can do the whole thing where you have them roam. Your Shadow Demon opens with disruption, which gives your Clockwork. Yeah. Your Shadow Demon opens with disruption. It means your Clockwork gets to walk onto them for free. You get free cogs, stun, and Shadow Demon poisons.
They're like, this is about to be a bad
start. Holy shit!
It feels like holy shit!
You need
to cancel from Tidehunter. So maybe they do. Oh, they don't even kill them.
Damn, they don't even kill him.
Do they even need it?
Oh, he's dead. Alright, he went down. The Scent got him on the back.
Red Jab's making space on the back line. They used a lot of stuff. Oh, links right into a Wraith King.
Yeah.
Oh, unfortunate.
And Wraith King's here for the cleanup.
Yeah. This whole, like, Wraith King hasn't even been participating. He's just kind of like...
No, he's been living his best life. But, like, even look bot lane. He's got a full army of skeletons just
pushing a tower.
Yeah.
Brutal. Yeah, it's just like the contrast in the terms of the supports is significant, I think, in terms of.
So
like,
Gyro has decided to get a defusal. He has
oh,
delayed his crits. He is not getting crits at all, in fact, to get a disperser.
honestly, I think I get what he's going for here. I think the idea here is that they're all very tanky and hard to kill. If he drains all of Tidehunter's mana, drains all of Wraith King's mana, drains all of their mana, then that can work. And it helps him with kill potential to lock people down in the events that because his team are just not really capable of doing that so well at the moment.
I would normally agree, I think when you're this far behind, he could drain the Wraith King's mana and the Wraith King still kills him.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's going to achieve what he wants in that amount of time. I mean, with the amount of mana drain, it has to be a really long extended fight, and right now Radiant so far ahead that they just take, like, you can see that the fights are ended in 10 seconds.
If you're getting those kind of drawn out fights, then I think your reasoning actually is like pretty good. It's pretty solid. It's like, all right, this is how we disable the threats essentially. But like, they don't need mana to be threats at the moment. They blink onto you and you're dead.
I think they gotta play for the assumption that if the fights are over instantly, it's because they lost them. So they kind of just need to play for their game plan, you know, try and take drawn out fights where the gyrocopter can like shoot everybody at the same time. That's the only way they're gonna get anything done.
I just think delaying the Satanic, like by 2 more items, is gonna be so rough for him.
Yeah, they kind of one counter to that.
Oh, he's playing into AA. He doesn't even go Satanic. What am I saying?
Gyro is putting up a pretty, like he's doing a good job. What's his name? Polite Gra? Oh, like how am I supposed to?
Poltergray, I don't know.
Poltergray. All right, Poltergray. That's a good name. Poltergray is a pretty cool name.
Yeah,
Poltergray is doing quite a good job here.
Oh, and Siav dives into 4 people and
just explodes. Yeah, he's being outfound by the
Nexus. Killed by the Invoker, and camera's not letting me watch.
I agree he's doing a good job of farming, particularly under this level of pressure, but I think you still need to like try and utilize your, like, as soon as you hit that Ags, you probably want to at least start utilizing like when your cooldown is up, stuff like that.
I think currently the only way they win a team fight is if the only way this works is if the enemy team like overextends and he TPs in and kills everybody. I think that if there are team fights, he's just gonna get ravaged and explode. It needs to be a backswing that he joins in on. It can't be the front swing.
So
I think that he's playing correctly.
I don't mean for team fights. I mean from that like 10-minute mark where there's things like, this isn't a comment on him either. Not from that like 10-minute mark where there was just a Nyx and a Tide just wandering around topside. That's probably when they should have been like smoking onto the Tide, using the call down, and then letting his Gyro go back to farming. He's doing a great job farming, but his team can't do anything without him, and they're not utilizing the time he has near heroes. And now it's probably too late for that.
When he has a BKB, it's possible. Oh, is he? Does he die?
Oh my god!
The missed AA ult. He's gonna live because of the AA.
Oh,
the retaliate!
So
that is
smart.
That is big brain.
Oh,
god.
Absolutely brutal. I didn't realize it worked like that. Of course it would.
Someone taped this Nyx.
Devastating. Betty, wish you could toggle that off.
Oh, why is no one tipping Nyx?
That is the smartest play I've seen all day. That's
cool. I didn't even realize it worked like that. Yeah, nice. I guess it makes sense that it does, but yeah, hilarious. Tip Nyx, please. Yeah.
It definitely makes sense, and it's a clever move. And like, realistically, in the moment, you're probably going to try something like that, but watching it looks so fancy. That was a really nice attempt to bait by Shadow Demon there. It didn't work at all, but it was a really nice attempt.
This looks like this game looks kind of impossible for for the Phoenix Knights. Is that it?
Phoenix Knights, yeah.
Phoenix Knights for the Phoenix Knights, but they are actually doing a good job playing an impossible game.
Yeah, that's probably a fair way to put it. They're not like they're not.
I think this impossible game though is about to enter a particularly difficult point.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just explodes. Does he even get anything here?
No, afraid not.
I mean, sure, the blade mail. Like, what does he even do into the blade mail?
Open flame from the Grandmaster Invoker. Ooh, I wonder if there's gonna be a GG out here. There's some controversy happening in the chat. One pro. Lol. Let's go.
Was it unranked? People are allowed to estimate their own MMR or some shit like that?
No, not generally. He does have a rank. I believe Red Siab is Crusader.
Considering he was like his laning phase was pretty solid. Everything escalated.
Crusader 3. For an idea of ranks here, I'm not going to take one into account for obvious reasons. But Crusader 3. But I mean, I've seen what's put down on this list and it's not accurate.
I'm absolutely serious now. What was Jesse's MMR considered for the purpose of this? Is that something we're allowed to know, or is that very inside baseball?
No, he put it down in the LFT as 5.5k.
Okay.
I mean, like,
I think that's like lowest.
That's still lowest MMR.
Yeah, all right. The highest on the team.
Here we go. Gyrocopter's starting to do fucking work. Holy shit.
Fuck me. Okay, they got a fight. They never mind.
It wasn't overextension. I think it's gonna get turned around though.
Yeah, but fuck, they got something.
He might make it out.
No, the blink.
Oh, the Radiance.
The Radiance is gonna get him eventually.
He might have.
The Red King's just too strong.
Red King's gonna. I think they killed him. I think
he might even kill them again.
Yeah, I mean they all bought back. They've got him. Like, so the question is, does this make a difference? Right? You've bought back your entire team. You've actually managed to clear them. But you have used literally 5 buybacks.
There you go. Pashas got. They were sleeping at the wheel. They weren't paying attention.
They thought the game was done. They clearly thought it was over.
Yeah.
Now you've only got a 4k gold swing off that, which.
It's something, right?
It's definitely something.
Is it even a 4k after the buybacks? I don't know
if after buybacks it's 4k. That's
and they immediately cast C up again. Yeah, that's
poor guy.
Man is not
worth his
positioning.
Brutal. He did I want to commend him because he did quite a reasonable job mid, right? It's just he did not have a game that he could recover in, as in none of the lanes went well enough that he could get any space, and he just basically he got sacked completely in favor of the center and the gyrocopter. So I feel like he did a commend-worthy performance. To an extent, it feels bad to look at, but I don't think this is necessarily his fault. I think he did a pretty good job. It's not easy to be a mid player and play basically as your lowest priority on your team. So I think he did a pretty good job with that.
I think, and this is a hard opinion I have of the current patch in mid lane, and hopefully it changes because it really sucks to be mid laner right now. But if you're in that position where you've done okay, he did better in lane probably than was anticipated. He's doing all right. Even if lanes are hard to gank, you just need to do it for pressure reasons. Sitting around mid mostly just resulted in him dying and getting minimum farm. And while I agree with you, clearly he wasn't the priority. You just need to put out pressure somewhere. Sitting back and trying to farm when you're getting doubled, tripled up on the amount of CS you're actually getting isn't even if it feels efficient in terms of you're keeping a bit on net worth, it's not achieving anything for your team.
I think AA died here.
Yeah, the AA is super fucking dead. Although
apparently not. They still might pick up AA.
AA is dead, but very nice disruption though. Is it enough?
Not sure if it makes a difference. Does it?
No, it does.
It does. Yeah,
incredible.
Very good save.
Yep.
They're doing Roche now. The Pashas realized their previous mistake and are now
their previous mistake of taking a full racks and then going for another without going back.
Yeah, I was just not paying attention to the fact the enemy team can actually kill them.
But interestingly, the Gyro's actually in an alright spot on net worth.
Yeah, no, it's the game that Gyrocopter farming and not dying. He has kept them in the game, right? If he dies,
he has given up on the disperser as well. He's given up on the disperser. He habit his diffusal blade, got the BKB, and now he's going for an MKB.
He is their highest rank as well. He's the 5.7k in their team. That's brought their average up quite a bit, I suppose. But
he's doing a good job here. This is not an easy game. This is not an easy game to be a Gyrocopter. It's not an easy game to be a carry, and he's doing a very commendable job playing this basically, again, it's like an impossible game, but he's making it look possible.
They're making moves. But they're fully warded. They've been warded through that smoke. Interesting they haven't considered buying a gem.
They might catch out the gyro here.
Oh yeah.
They were warded through that entire movement.
Deso on
there's a very clear path of wards here.
Yeah. That's on the tide. I honestly assume it's just help with the push. The Vlads. Like he's just their their pushing engine.
I think the Blade Mail was an interesting choice from Punjabi music.
From Centaur?
Yeah.
Yeah, weird to go back for it.
Yeah, like I guess he does need. It is a armor efficient item and a farming item, I guess, as well. So there's always multiple reasons to have it, but there's no good blade mail target in this game.
The fact that he has a rapier queued up is probably a sign of where he thinks this game is going.
That's fair, yeah. 1,600 net worth on the Tide's net worth, or the Centaur's net worth isn't phenomenal, but he's in the game.
Yeah, he's able to play, but he's still, like, for a Centaur, he does feel like he's made of paper at this point of the game.
Yeah. This AA, on the other hand, is just stacks on stacks, like.
Yeah, Great King is really just Who do you think is MVP so far?
The Knicks for that.
Yeah, I think it's for that one moment. Real talk, it's probably the Invoker, right? The Invoker's been cleaning up. He's been playing so clean in every fight. I don't know if he's died yet.
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't died.
I don't know. I'm gonna give it to. I think the Nyx assassin, to be honest, actually does deserve it because he just did so much work with it, like just sneaking around the place, closing off the map.
They really took advantage of positioning in the lane as well, where I feel like they could have easily sat back and been a little bit afraid.
Yeah, I could definitely think that lane should have gone a bit differently. But yeah, it was like well played in lane. Granted, there is no weak link on the side of Pashas. Like they all played a good game.
I've lost track of where Networth is.
Is Nyx the only non-immortal? I know one of them isn't.
Centaur is gonna get. Yeah, I don't know what he was planning there. Just like the Centaur is made of paper. Blade mail used?
But he has a blade mail.
Two people are dead. Rough. God, they love these. Pashas are such assholes.
You're not a fan of this? Christ. Oh man, you gotta get the voice line spam going when you're winning.
This level 30 this level 30 immortal invoker just killed their Crusader 3 mid and woo, good job.
Look, man, all I'm saying is, on the one hand I get where you're coming from. On the other hand, you're playing in the upper division. You've chosen to mark your MMR as this. Someone else in your team has also chosen to mark their MMR as this. This is what you're here for, right? Like, full disclosure, I expect a lot of our games we're going to get absolutely reamed. We're on the lower end of the MMR for the upper division. But, you know, if people are going to showboat us for it, we can't be like, oh, well, you're better ranked than us. You know, we made our decisions here. That being said, the showboating is hilarious and I'm here for it. The lack of a wheelchair emoji is the only thing upsetting me. Jesus Christ, though.
The refusal to call good game.
Yeah, if someone refuses to call a good game like this, I'm a firm believer that you should start well farming them.
No, they're putting up again. I think the Gyro Copy's performance here was very good.
Yes, absolutely. The Gyro did everything in his power. He put up a good fight. I don't want to put it on his team for feeding around him necessarily.
No, they did. They enabled him. They enabled him to go.
Yeah,
they tried to play for him.
They did make space for him. Yeah. The only thing I would have liked out of the Gyro, and this is probably partially because he's playing Gyro, but if he's going to play these like I want to sit back and farm and I don't want to play with you style carries, he probably needs to play something that has the ability on like a big long cooldown to come and make a big difference for a very short period of time, just to try and ease off that pressure a little, right? Because like it's building and it's building and it's building, and he's assuming at some point in the game he'll just turn up and he'll be so strong it'll break it. But he's turning up and he's got less farm than the other carry, and he's not necessarily playing a stronger carry. He doesn't have some big turn the fight out like a void or something, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think if they're going to play this style of I want to sit back and pretend the game isn't happening and then I'll turn up later, I would like if he at least played something that could occasionally turn up and have that big turn a team fight play and then disappear again. If not for the actual impact of turning up at that point, but more so for the threat of it.
Yeah. Like
the threat that a void could appear at least like somewhat curtails what the other team is doing. And not even necessarily a void, just something kind of like that has that big team fight ult.
I think the Phoenix Knights had a lot of problems in their draft. I think when you look at their team together as a whole, it makes sense, right? But none of the permutations really work, as in like Centaur can't really do anything with a clockwork. Like they have to kind of be together for their team to function. Whereas all the little things like the Nyx and the Tidehunter and the AA and the Nyx and the Invoker and the Nyx, like there's so many different ways that Pashas could like create pressure on their map and in little duos and trios and stuff that Phoenix Knights just absolutely could not. And I think it's tied up in the support, in like the difference in like the hero picks for the supports. Like Clockwork and Shadow Demon don't do anything together. They can save and they can disrupt, both literally with the spell and I mean like figuratively, disruptively, being disruptive. But there's just no like. It's very difficult for them to make stuff happen just by themselves, and I think that got shown. Like, think about the level of impact of the Nyx versus the level of impact of the combined Shadow Demon and Clockwork.
Yeah, I think the Shadow Demon Clockwork can do things if some very specific things happen. If the lanes go well for them, so that they get moving before any of the other supports have a Force Staff, which is irrelevant on the Nyx because you're never catching him anyway. But they basically need to get to a point where they can do it before support has a Force Staff in order to save people, so that they can go disruption into Clockworks onto blah 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 blah. The problem is everything about the Phoenix Knights team basically went, if we win lanes, this is going to be like perfectly reasonable. If we don't win lanes, we're going to get absolutely rolled. And
we know what happened there.
Yeah, but I take your point completely that like Pashas, yeah, great, they won lanes and then they managed to roll it and the Nyx did a whole lot of work, blah 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 blah. But if they hadn't, let's say the lanes go even, the Nyx isn't in nearly as good of a position, he gets 6, he's doing fine. That's still an absolutely obscene gank. They still have Nyx into A into Sunstrike combo. Like they still have setup. They don't need their lanes to go well, even though they got their lanes to go well. And it's a kind of assumption that Phoenix Knights seem to have gone in with, that they basically were relying on the fact that, okay, we'll do well early, and then we'll kind of sack out mid game while our gyro farms, and then we'll pull it back late game because we'll have a fed gyro and they won't have anything going on. But that's just such a ballsy take to go against a team with like 2k average MMR higher than you.
I do think it's commendable. I do think they did I like the idea of their draft. I like that they weren't super shackled to the heavy meta stuff, as in they had their own idea about what they were going to do and they tried to execute, and it just didn't pan out. And they put up a noble fight. Like, they played it out, and there were hints of it almost working.
Guys, like, the lobby is up again. I'll invite you. Same password as last time.
Realistically, I think they needed both a Kunkka instead of the Centaur. The Centaur just doesn't do enough until it's farmed a bit. At least the Kunkka can like set up individual kills quite well. And probably something a little more brawly from the mid laner. Maybe this is just me not loving Void Spirit at the moment, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think the Void Spirit really panned out either in lane or in the game. I think the idea, maybe the general idea, was that he could find like the AA or the Invoker later on, but he just never got the kind of game that enabled him to kill people by himself. Like he never got the game that enabled him to do really any damage.
Yeah, again, it's one of those situations where if the lanes go well and the other lanes aren't doing so badly, then the Void Spirit has a lot more setup. He goes into even fighting lanes. He's able to finish off fights that are semi-even. But in this kind of a game, the AA is the only thing he can reasonably kill effectively. And there was fights where he was going on the AA and he was almost killing him, but then someone would turn up and save the AA and kill the Void instead. It's just a lot to kind of put on someone playing something that, I mean, by no means bad. Void Spirit's obviously like a good pick-ish, I think. I really don't play that much mid lately, but Void ain't really what he used to be, you know. Like, yeah. Imagine if that was just a Quap or something, right? Or even like, imagine they took the Kunkka as well as the Centaur, and just put the Kunkka mid.
I mean, you're kind of limited with any of the int stuff because you're just getting annihilated. Like if you're too squishy, you just explode. So it does need to be something that can get in and out, and something like Void Spirit is a lot more survivable than a Quap. Right.
Sure. Well, then, like a Kunkka or a Puck, or even a Necro, right? Well, no, not Necro and
but something like that.
You get my idea. Just something that, like, if your plan is to play late, your plan is to eventually go late. Just wait.
Or like, play something that, by that time. Honestly, or either something that's tanky enough that it can fight them, or something that can just be very far away, like a Zeus.
Yeah, I mean, I was even saying during the draft, Zeus would have probably been fine. Yeah, weird one all around. It swaps. It always swaps.
Yeah, I was thinking. I think to allow that to work, I think I was supposed to pick best of 3. I'm not sure. I'll check after.
Just set it manually. It always swaps.
Set manual.
loser picks, which is you, roundabout way of flaming. Yeah.
Is that how it works? I thought it was just that whoever gets first time doesn't get first pick next time.
Yes, that's what I said. I just said it in a weird way.
Oh, okay.
If you pick first, game one.
They
you
had
pick
already
second.
picked.
Yeah, whatever.
But I've changed it to manual now, so we've lost that. Can they just say... Was a... Jesse took second pick. Okay, so starting team is Radiant. Yes, that's right. They took Radiant. Monkey. Monkey, they're approaching. So Pasha took Radiant, yeah, and they took second pick.
Would you say Monkey S?
Team. And there's the team.
Alright. Cian, tell me what you want done differently this time. Jesse James has chosen second pick. Second pick is the choice.
What do I think they need to do differently? I think what worked with I think that the stuff with the carry worked. I think they need to pick a better support duo that they can rest their team on, because I think a support duo that can do stuff means that you can lose mid lane and be able to recover, because you can kill stuff with them, right?
Yeah,
like that makes all of the difference in the world. I think. With that in mind, if that Gyrocopter has that kind of game again, right? If Poltergeist has that kind of game again, but he's got a team to back him up, I think that this looks very different. They've clearly demonstrated that they're capable of performing at a level that can compete with Pashas. I think that they've shown that, right? They won team fights. They brought them down, right? It's not a complete stomp. They just need to set themselves up for it this time. They're banning the Knicks out.
Let's calm that a bit. They won team fight, but please continue.
Yeah, they won like team fight. I'd say like 1.5. Right.
I'll give you 1 point. Okay, I'll give you 1.5 team fights. They won 1.5 team fights.
There were signs of life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair way to put it. I think I would like the supports to be a little less. I'll do it myself. Like, they were very Clockwork is a very I'm gonna find people and kill them support, right?
Yeah.
And that's great if you can find people and kill them, but like this AA was uncatchable, and the Nyx was not the kind of support you're gonna find well anyway. By the time you were catching the AA, he had Glimmer, he had Force. Yeah. It's just hard. So you either need to force them into a position where they're picking supports that have to do things, or you need to pick a 4 that is more collaborative in its kills.
Yeah. Grimstroke coming out first. So we've got a complete shift. Like, a lot of stuff got banned out that got picked last game. No Invoker, no Wraith King, no Nyx Assassin. Leaves a lot of stuff on the table. Spirit Breaker's still gone. Did they ban Phoenix last time?
They did.
They did, yeah.
And I kind of hope that this is a continuing meme that nobody ever lets them pick Phoenix.
Oh, 100%.
Why?
Because they're Phoenix Knights.
Oh,
look at their banner.
Christ. Okay.
Or the one
Phoenix, or is this just a bit?
Yeah, I think it is. I don't think it's.
I think it's a bit. Phoenix is a 5 nowadays.
Yeah,
Phoenix is a good 5. Oh, there's the train. Okay,
that's good.
So this I like. This is a much stronger support for laning Shadow Demon.
This hero is already their support duo is already about 300% stronger, and we haven't even the second one.
This support has a 58% win rate in pro games.
Yeah,
it's pro level games. Sorry.
Yeah, and he's a first pick hero that you can it's just an absurdly strong hero. Very easy to execute, gives a lot to a team. But
if you decide to counter, then what have you done with your life?
It's brutal. It's brutal to play into. It feels awful to play into a Treant Protector.
And then as soon as you hit mid game, it's just vision. There's vision everywhere. There's Costner supports. Man, I fucking love Treant.
They really need to get the AA out of the pool, I think, at the minute, though. It's exactly what you talked about.
I don't think you're playing AA with Grimstroke, if I'm going to be honest. Also, the AA doesn't feel amazing for Treant from a very specific period of levels. But after that point, it's irrelevant. Your healing isn't that big of a deal past a certain stage. You're predominantly a vision hero that's kind of a CC thing. You're mostly a healer in lane. I really don't think you'd want to play A with Grimstroke. The fact that no one is picking Muerta, though, my god.
Yeah.
Now you definitely could, but that means you have to play Grimstroke 4. And whilst that's not unplayable, it's just like very unnecessary.
You see what that like? There's a lot
Plus
of
you kind of run into the same problem that Phoenix Knights had then, where you're like your support duo is AA Grimstroke. Like, what the fuck are they doing together?
Jakiro plus Trina.
Okay,
that's workable. That works.
This is we do not want to lose lanes that badly.
Yeah, this is we won a team fight. Let's follow up on that.
Yeah.
All right, Tusk Grimstroke. One thing is
that I probably Tusk Grimstroke. Right?
I love Grimstroke as a support. Like, I think he's basically such a good start to any draft because he has so much synergy. He's so flexible. There's so many different ways you can play him and ways you can bring him in. Like, you can play around saving people with your shard. You can play around like stalling the map and pushing out waves with your Q. You play around various levels of like initiation or silence and lockdown. It just always feels great. Going back to the Tidehunter. Interesting. So they're revealing Tusk Tidehunter because there isn't really a. It could be Grim Tidehunter, right? They could pick like a Luna or something.
I don't think so. I mean, I agree it could be, but I don't think so.
Oh,
like,
makes sense.
It definitely could be, but
see, one of the ways Tusk into Treant actually works quite well. It's the same principle where you always used to pick Clinks into Undying because it's just like you just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, just kill the man.
Yeah, you just beat the ever-loving.
He wants to stand there and he'll kill him.
Yeah, just like he wants to walk up to you and slap you, pop the E on Tusk, gush him, beat him to death. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it works.
Absolutely. This is the kind of lane you're somewhat scared of with Treant generally as well. However, if you pick a strong enough core with the Treant, the amount of healing you get off, if you can get to level 3, the amount of healing you get off level 2 Leech Seed is enough to get through the burst from Tusk Tide.
Yeah.
It's just, do you have follow-up damage?
The thing is, they could also...
Because they can't move away, so like they're locking you in with shards, but they're also locking themselves in on top of Nature's Grasp, right?
The thing is, what the Jakiro kind of does the opposite thing, because the slow and the playing dual melee into a Jakiro feels like absolute shit. Because you always just get double dual breath. So it's possible they swap the Jakiro into the safe lane and put the Treant top. Like, even if they like just as like a 4 and 5 kind of thing, it doesn't really matter their positions. I could definitely see that happening, and it might be very frustrating for the Tidehunter and the Tusk to deal with.
So, Earth Spirit, mid, off lane?
Presumably, almost certainly.
Mid, surely, right?
He's very much a mid pick at the minute, I think, overall.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's just a weird point to pick a mid Earth Spirit. I guess the support's right. Do you not just hate playing Earth Spirit into Grimstroke anyway, though?
I imagine that's somewhat frustrating.
Yeah. Doesn't seem great. I mean,
Bristleback.
I suppose the thing is that it was essentially just a 3 or 4 or 3rd or 4th pick anyway. The way the pick order works now.
Why is Bristleback so small?
Because he's got bristles on his back.
I think everyone else is just big. I mean, like besides the Treant there.
Yeah, that's true. He's so small.
Jahiro is like notoriously quite large. Though that Bristleback does look hilariously small. I feel like they've responded to their last game draft of going, we have very few meta heroes, by completely shifting the opposite direction.
Yeah, I like it. Ember Spirit, wow.
Yeah, no, this is just their mid laner's pick. He fucking loves Ember Spirit with a passion.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't overthink it too much.
I mean, it's like the Ember Spirit Tide vibe. It happens.
Nah, I think your man just likes Ember Spirit.
Yeah.
Just that.
It works. I like it. Like it's like they've got the front line as well. Like, it's a good game for it.
Something big to kill this Bristle though, because at the moment they don't have a Silver Edge builder, unless they make the Tusk a core somehow. They don't have a Silver Edge builder. They don't have. I mean, you don't even necessarily need Silver Edge against Bristle lately, but you need big damage if you're not going to. They don't have like big burst damage. Like Tide and Ember are both very sustained.
There goes the PA Slark.
Bandits Slark themselves don't want to play the Slark into their Tide, I guess.
So they're both looking to pick a 1. Interesting.
CK is still in the pool.
No, it's been banned.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they're just
there it is. My bad.
Splitting the worst carries in the game right now.
So surely Void is unbanned. Void is just.
Void works.
Muerta is also in the pool.
Well, Void is actually maybe
more of a 4 now.
Void is currently the second most picked.
He's very good into Bristleback. Is the thing.
He's very good with a Grimstroke.
Yeah.
Or not with a Grimstroke, with a Jakiro.
I could definitely see. Yeah, like both sides could probably pick up Void.
I mean, this Bristol could also be a +1, right? Like it's
also very
possible, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't. I don't think it would be a bad idea. But that being said, I think a faceless would be devastating on Pashas. I think it would be. It would be quite a problem to deal with. But
it's just good into the Bristle as well, right? Because you like beat it down, it gets you low, you reset your health, and you finish him off.
Yeah, and you just chrono him and punch him in the face.
I mean, off that.
Like you don't have to worry about that. You just walk around him and beat him.
Weaver is another option that isn't panned out yet.
The silence, like he might have a bit of it. Oh, they ban the faceless Void. Okay, so what are they taking?
Weaver.
Okay, interesting.
And
Bloodseeker on the table.
Bloodseeker is really iffy right now. We tried it recently; it did not go well. I think you want the Lifestealer than Murda at this stage, right? Lifestealer feels a bit funky, but it's really good in lane against the Tidehunter.
No.
And Murda, just so you decide you're going to outscale them again. You trust in your carry, outscale them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although Murda does fall.
Yeah,
no, we're not going to go down that road.
No.
Shoot
I will say Murda Treant is a funky lane though. It's like either incredibly good or horrific.
It's kind of a worry that, say, Tide Tusk can get on top of Murda pretty easily.
Okay, so they just have an absolutely insane lane then. Treant Lifestealer should by no means lose.
Okay, this one I like more. I like again. I don't think Treant and Jakiro are particularly good together. Like as a support duo, I don't think they function great together. But they just do a lot more stuff, right? And worst case, like they're both stronger heroes in terms of laning, which is enough, right? Like it's like if you just want to pick your heroes for the laning phase, that's perfectly fine to get your cores off the ground, totally reasonable. But also, they give a lot, like even just a Treant ult into macro player, it's still like potentially devastating. So looks good.
I think the sheer amount of slows coming out of them is like quite relevant as well, right? Like that's kind of what this support duo does. It's not like outstanding, but Treant slow into Jakiro slow into a Bristleback running at you is like ruinously bad.
I do think one of the reasons why I'm not a fan of the Lifestealer, why I think they needed something like a Faceless Void or a Bloodseeker, was they don't really have a lot of ways of killing the Weaver, right? Like
I guess they have Treant ult.
Yeah, they like I think they have ways, but they're all going to be awkward and artificial and easy for Monkey to avoid, right? It's like
their main plan is very clearly just kill everyone else.
I guess that is also true. And like at least the supports are like everybody's a bit tanky on the side of Phoenix Knights. Like the picking people isn't going to be super easy. Like they're not likely to explode. So it's possible that works, to be honest. that it just becomes a brawling, that they win in the event of a brawling mess.
So I'm pretty sure Treant Lifestealer should win their lane. Like they might not necessarily, but they should.
I do. The thing is,
like Bristle could go either way. Like it depends how well the Weaver spaces. I guess.
How do you find the Ember as well? Like I feel like there's a lot of the catch pressure is going on to Red Ziab, right? I think basically all of the team fights.
Treant Shard is a really big deal here.
Treant Shard, I guess that works.
Treant Shard gets you the vision, gets you the setup route. The route leads into a Jakiro stun. You have the ult. That's enough.
Interesting starting build from
who?
From Red Ziab. What is this?
He's the expert?
Yeah, he's got a ring of regen and a gauntlet of strength.
Huh.
Intriguing.
Man wants Soul Ring from several years ago?
Perhaps. Yeah, that's yeah, right? Bought the wrong ring?
Dota 1 gamer, I guess.
Was it part of Earn at one point?
Not at the same time.
Yeah, I think you want the other one, brother. I think you want.
No, they were. Yeah, you're right. They were Earn at one point. Not anytime recently, but at some point.
All right. They learned from their last mistake and they're like ready for the attempted gank.
Well, this is what happened last time. They were there ready for it.
Oh, I didn't see that part. Okay.
Yeah, no, they were ready for it. It just wasn't good enough.
Honestly, looking at the draft, I do think that Pashas team is a lot easier to execute. but I do think there's a lot of it's potential that they just win out the lanes hard enough that it doesn't really matter, right? On the side of Phoenix Knights.
I think Pashas individual heroes are harder to execute, but the game plan is a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
So there's a much bigger skill check in terms of your ability to play your hero, but in terms of trying to do the game, there's so little lockdown on. This is a lot of pressure on the tree and Jakiro.
I mean, even the silence from Red Ziab will go a long way, but it's just a lot. He has to jump in and then silence and go, and I think he gets controlled and he dies a lot of the time.
It's also just not that long of a silence.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll let them catch but as soon as this Weaver has something resembling a defense.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Love that. Fuck me. Yeah. Fair enough.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. So what does this leave? Yeah. Okay. Well,
your Tidehunter doesn't have to play against a Lifestealer.
I think we're gonna see some dual tri lanes in a little bit. To be honest, I think that's what's about to come out. I think the Gyrocopter, or sorry, the Tidehunter and the Bristleback are just gonna lane against each other for a while, and they're not even gonna. I mean, I think that favors Bristle, right? Bristle has kill potential on Tide.
Long term, yeah, but I don't think the Grim is ever actually forced to leave. He can just sit there and pull forever. So if the Jakiro wants to go off and pressure the Weaver, then the Bristle has no way to stop him just chain pulling.
That's it.
I'm having the same problem with vision this time, and I actually have control of the camera, but my vision's limited because I have to be on that team.
That's weird. If it makes you feel any better, mine is working.
They're going on tree. Oh, an absolute! I think he's died. He dies for this.
Yeah, he's not getting out of there, surely.
Absolutely devastating lane swap up. They just didn't see it coming. They could have prepared for it, but they just didn't.
The Change just played a little psycho there as well. Playing that far forward with Leech Seed down is questionable. Playing at all with Leech Seed down this early in the lane. Oh.
Ooh. Close.
Yeah, but no, Grim.
Oh.
Jesse doesn't commit for it. I suppose he's prioritizing keeping the lane somewhat comfortable, I guess.
I think he dies if he chases that. I think Jesse dies. I don't think he gets the kill. I think he just dies.
Wait, the Grim was literally an auto off, but yes, he would have died. It was, does he consider his own death to be worth a sports death? And probably not.
They're making a bit of a go, but it's not enough. Yeah, this is a scary lane top for a Lifestealer. While mid, there's a huge disparity mid. A devastating disparity mid.
It's
13-9 to 6-0, and Asuna is going to get a couple more last hits as well.
The one thing is, at least for Earth Spirit, that his kick by level, I don't know, is it 5 or 7, clears waves really, really well. So he can begin to get some farm that way. But you're just again kind of gimping yourself from the
start. Level 7, it kills a range creep.
Okay.
Yeah.
They
got a kill.
Nice.
Goes down first. Bristleback honestly just gets to reset and come back to lane with full health. So
Jesse James gets the kill. In fact, both supports get the kill, so you're happy enough.
Even Stevens.
Treats managed to work out that staying in the trees is generally helpful. But
they just this. I think this Weaver is going to be a bit of a. Oh, did he mess that up?
No.
It's such a scary lane for the Lifestealer. I don't know how he this is gonna get worse. I think.
Yeah, this is rough.
It was a really good lane swap.
Yeah.
I don't think they could have made it any better for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, your Tide isn't super happy with either of these lanes, but this is probably the better of the two options for him, and it's much better for your Weaver.
The one thing I guess that is the case is that it's actually much better for Bristleback. Right, as in Bristle laning against Weaver plus Talus actually probably would have been devastating. Right, the early levels are very difficult on Bristle a lot of the time. I think he dies off cooldown there. But with this, he just basically free farms. So there is
with the Jakiro, he doesn't even necessarily die. It'll be rough for him. But once he has the Vanguard, it's irrelevant to him regardless.
Look at mid. There was a very good.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Dude loves his voice lines. Is this man not level 30 on anything? What the hell? He's level 30 Ember Spirit and a level 30 Invoker?
I think he has one more.
What about his life? we have to insult something here.
Jesus Christ. Like that's so much time. Like how many like is there anything else? Hold on, I'm looking him up on Dota Buff.
I think there's one more. So the Treant Lifestealer lane, not going quite as well as you'd want. I would like if they were pressuring this Tusk a bit more, maybe. Like, the Treant can pretty freely pressure the Tusk when the Weaver's taking farm and stuff. He's kind of not. Alternatively, he could be like pulling.
Red is dead again.
Yeah.
Poor dude.
Yeah.
A bit of a late one. Honestly, they maybe could have.
Oh.
Does Jesse James kill him? He's got it. Maybe? I think he does. He's got 1 charges and a fairy fire.
He doesn't have the boots now.
No, he gets away.
Oh.
Jesse might have a spell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, huge.
He fucked it in the trees.
Yeah, he did fuck it in the trees. The pathing, man.
Top
Pathing
lane.
is so bad.
Top lane.
Top lane, I think he's dead on Poltergeist.
I will say severe lack of voice lines from Phoenix Knights after killing the mid.
Yeah,
Really
that's
needs,
it.
really needed some
Behavior.
tips.
Yeah.
Really
You
needed some tips.
You gotta drive it home, you know?
Yeah.
Phoenix Knight's putting up a much better show of it this time.
Yeah, I mean, what? It was... we'll see, because
7
it's on
to
track
0.
to be the same.
7-0.
Oh, Ember's angry
Oh
at
my
Jesse.
god, the tree and balling it out over here.
Oh, did they get the kill? A kill would be huge.
Oh my god!
Oh,
And the
he got
Weaver
it.
goes
Okay, that's
down.
okay.
We're going down.
Big games by the
Oh,
tree.
does he have a... Yeah. He's getting revenge. I think he dies too on Red Ziab as well. I think he made a mistake there. He's level 4 to the... Oh, did he just got his 5? Maybe that makes a difference. You could kick him away or under tower, whatever works. Yeah, he just dies to another. Oh!
Level of silence early.
Rip. Did he die? No. Alright. I mean, Poltergeist getting a kill there makes a difference, but we're at 7 minutes and there is a 2k advantage, which is the exact same thing that happened last time. I think that what's shifted
Doesn't
around...
that feel better though, right?
I mean,
Like,
I think we just shifted around who is in what position. Instead of the position 1, instead of Poltergeist having a really good laning phase, it's now gone to free Punjabi music, while the kind of middling to low quality laning phase has gone to Poltergeist. And then the mid is unchanged. It's just the same. In fact, I think mid's going a little worse.
Yeah, the mid's definitely going worse for him. I think Poltergeist is playing another of these, like, I'll figure it out in a bit carries, though.
Yeah. And, like, I feel like they put a lot of stock into their laning phase. I think the game gets harder for Phoenix Knights out of the lane.
They're really going to have trouble shutting down this Weaver.
Interesting choice in the bot lane. Both Free Punjabi Music and Jesse James both finished arcs before Free Punjabi Music got his Vanguard.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake. I guess, I mean, if he doesn't...
He's suffering for it actually, right now, right?
I actually take that back a little bit. I mean, he is a little low on health, but I guess it does make sense that he just wants to push his... He doesn't know to what extent Jesse James is going to be playing with and around him. And if he's just farming, then he just wants to farm as fast as he can with the mana boon. So it does kind of make sense. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Red Ziab is attempting to go.
On Mr. Punjabi Music.
Jeez.
They've got the bristle.
Yeah, he gets a regen. I think Jesse's gonna die here. I think this dude's a psychopath.
This man is
very
incredibly comfortable on his Ember.
It's fun. It's always good to see. This dude's a great Ember spirit, and it's always fun to see a good Ember spirit.
So Trent's going for the 2 levels into Leech Seed max armor build.
Should not be considering.
Oh,
he got very unlucky trying to pick him off with the damage on the fire round.
Or did Red Siab play like a god?
Oh, that's true. The
default
answer is Red Siab god.
Yeah. Red Siab's decided he's going to solo the Ember.
Red Ziab Master
Oh,
Race. Is he going to do it? I don't think it's going to work. He
think
doesn't have any...
Does he have ult?
Oh, he missed it.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Unfortunately, he's dead, yeah.
It's going downhill. Yeah. Okay, well...
I expect at least one voice line.
It's all gone Pete Tom.
Yeah, there we
go. The Treant has been found by Weaver, but he's got 2 levels in armor, so Weaver is basically irrelevant.
One thing that is notable is that because of the way the off lane works, sticking the Tidehunter there means that despite him having a meteor hammer, he's basically no threat to the tower, which is good. Like honestly, This isn't the worst. This is workable, but it is a 5,000 net worth lead. It is mostly focused around the mid lane.
It is 500 gold a minute negative. Right? Yeah, I mean, I think I know we commented last game that like, look, there's a big MMR difference. You're gonna need to overcome that. You can't just like use that as an excuse and stuff. But I do think to some degree you want to set yourself up for success, right? Like you don't want to get these really hard to execute heroes on a really hard to execute team.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they've done fine with that. Like Treant is, for as much as I love him and as much as I like playing him, he's not hard to like do at least moderately well on. Similarly with Jakiro. Earth Spirit is hard.
Yeah.
Like it is hard to play Earth Spirit well. Like to a moderate degree, sure, but
oh yeah, it's not only is it a hard hero, but I mean like they basically open themselves up to be able to get devastated by a mid pick as well. Like he's you can't like third round a melee mid hero in this situation. Like maybe if it was like a Kunkka.
Well, but I will say in their defense, I think some of the logic there is that they just want to give this Poltergeist as good a game as possible, so they're just going to always give him the last pick. And their pick
totally
was
fair.
Yeah. They picked Bristle after as well.
It didn't work. Like it didn't work. Like I think this game is actually going way worse than the first one. I think it's like escalating. It's like you don't have a gyrocopter hard farming in the background to keep everything like ready.
Yeah.
Granted, to be totally fair, last time, bot tower's gone.
Yeah, the Bristle Black got killed. Tidehunter got 2 casts of Meteor Hammer off and it died.
Jesus Christ. Well, that undid every all of the good. Like they're slightly less penned in. Like they've done a better job keeping the towers alive this time around. They're not as penned into the same area. But it's like remember last time at 11 minutes they were basically farming.
Mid lane.
What a play from the Ember. Very good dodge.
I think this one's gonna get worse and worse.
He's in the zone right now. He's feeling very lost in the sauce, I'd say.
I feel like the Earth Spirit, and I know I'm coming back to this a lot, but like they really need their mid lane to do a lot of work in these games.
Yeah.
Because you need like that kind of level 6 mobility and like go and do things. And Earth Spirit's a really good hero to do that with if you don't get destroyed in lane. And even if you do, you just need to start moving. You need to start roaming.
No.
However, Red Seab's just kind of been coming back to this lane and dying.
No.
Like, I understand the other lanes.
My man,
hard to do stuff, but like...
What is with this man and
for
not
a long time,
boots?
this Tusk was killable. This Grimstroke was killable. This Weaver, you bring some detection, he was pre-6, he was killable. You have a silence. But he just kind of kept going back to the, like, meat thresher that was this Ember Spirit.
Yeah, just avoid him. Dear God, run away from him.
It's that kind of, like... I find a lot of mid players have this attitude where they're like, if they don't win lane, they just have it in their head they need to keep going back and doing it. Oh yeah,
did he just die here? No, maybe not.
Good turn.
Do they?
Yeah, they get the tide.
They will get the tide. That's good. And maybe also the.
Oh. No, the Weaver's away. But still, you know, good turnaround. Lots of TPs, but good turnaround.
That was definitely a bit of overconfidence, so diving at tier 2 at 13 minutes.
Oh, 100%. Pure belief that your opponents will never TP.
I was kind of surprised that they actually got the Ravage on him. I felt like Poltergeist was waiting to pop Rage and just didn't time it right. Because like the Tidehunter, I actually would not have thrown the Ravage out if I was the Tidehunter. But it worked out, sort of, so...
Sort of.
Maybe they kill Tusk here?
Yeah,
he doesn't have a snowball. He dies. I think Jesse James goes down, but they might get Monkey in response. No, I just immediately get the kill.
That's a Weaver.
Yeah.
He's not dying.
Weaving out of control.
It kind of feels like any trade is good for Dire at the minute.
Well,
no. Not this, of course.
Nah,
but, like any one for one.
If the trade just leads to nothing following up, sure.
Yeah, this dude's working them. Like there's no meaningful cash for this Ember Spirit. Like they're all dead. They're all absolutely screwed here. Yeah, like there's the only way that they have catch enough to kill the Weaver or the Ember Spirit if they're playing this game from a one-laning phase, right? If they're ahead.
I genuinely think this is just a game where they lost in the draft. Like this is a rough draft.
I agree. I think it needed to be for one, it needed to be something like a Bloodseeker. Or like the Faceless Void was banned out, or something like that, right? It needed to be something where all of your ability to kill anything was not hedged entirely on
Can I hit you, please? Yeah. I mean, what else could they have gone? Like, we already discussed it. I think Muerta would have been fine.
I think Muerta would have been fine. I think that makes...
And maybe...
I think Muerta would have been also been good because she does have a bunch of lockdown and stuff, and she lanes well against the Weaver in the event that he's like that they've got that lane. Like
I think they just didn't predict that, but yeah. Like the lanes would have been okay.
And Ember is.
This man is just flexing on them. He just dodged a tree and dult by walking.
Yeah.
Checks for the arcane and comes back in. More like
he has a spirit out the entire time.
He's just corralling them. He always has a spirit. Always. Ah, they're going for the Roche. Nice early Roche. Use your...
The Lifestealer is farming so sluggishly. It's just... It looks awful. It's awful to watch. Like, he's just... He can't pop off the same way he did last game. And it's revealed in the net worth. Last game, as bad as things got, the Gyrocopter's farm was comparable to all the cores on the side of Pashas. But now, it's just like, he's just along with the rest of his team.
Even this Bristle that was doing well has just kind of started doing nothing because
he died too much. He died.
But like, look at what he's doing right now, right? He's just sitting around. Yeah. He's too scared to go farm. Like he's playing Bristleback. You don't get to be that scared. You got to go do something.
He should have his Ags by now, and that might make a difference of some description in fights. Like he can kill stuff with the Ags, but he just died a couple times, and then now he's like playing Bristle from behind feels like such garbage.
Lifestealer.
Oh, yeah,
he's farming, but you see him.
Yeah, you're farming in the little river thing.
Give him the silence.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yep.
Red Ziab coming in.
Man is the same level as his treant.
Yeah, he's got less farm.
He has turned that gauntlet into a bracer, but he hasn't bought anything else.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't have boots up until a while ago.
He actually has less money than the Jakiro currently.
Brutal, yeah. Very brutal. I mean, Jesse had a lot of time to farm mid.
Jesse did pick up several kills as well.
No, the Tusk is actually super safe right now.
Like, they still have Ravage. Oh, that was a good ulti combo from the Jakiro and the Treant, but I think the Ravage maybe comes out here? No?
I think you just don't have enough in your team to like follow up on the ulti combo. But you see now you force like free Punjabi music back. You really shouldn't be here. I know it feels bad, especially when they're on your tier 3, but you don't make a difference right now. Yeah. With your Ags, you might go get your Ags.
This Weaver is absolutely horrifying.
It's not like waiting out for like a defensive item or something when they're on your tier 3s. It's you don't do damage yet. Well, not enough anyway. One upside, Red Seab has a nice quick respawn timer. He's going for drums. And he has
completed Tranks. Okay.
No, Treant though.
Just for you, Owen.
Okay, so
taking no damage.
This is something I'd like to point out with the Treant. This is kind of an old thing. I was doing this for ages. Very not a thing you should do anymore. Kind of like falling out of the meta quite a lot. Rushing a Solar Crest before Shard.
Alright, I'm steady again.
Like, unless you are balling, you need your Shard.
I think we're approaching a GG out.
I don't know. They didn't GG out the last one. Maybe they're still hoping on.
Yeah, but last one they had a thread. Last time they had a Gyrocopter who did end up doing a lot of work. I guess. Yeah.
Oh.
No. Almost.
Davis. Oh.
He's got it. He's got Aegis. He's got Aegis.
Yeah.
He almost wants
the Aegis. Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but got the Aegis.
Yeah, but I mean, it gives him the ability to
not be aware. I understand. Oh, Red CM's back in it again. Red Seab currently rocking a combined 0 and 21 across the two games. Alright. Bristle's closing in on his Ags. He needs 900 more gold. The carry is letting him farm the lane. He's not farming the lane, instead going to the jungle for some reason.
I don't even like what he's trying to do here on Earth Spirit, looking at drums next.
I honestly don't think there's a better option. Like, he's a support now. There's nothing else to it. He is a support hero. In no way he gets enough money to do anything reasonable. Just get a relevant, early, fast fighting item because you're going to be forced to fight for the next while.
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from in terms of, like, it kind of just relegates him to never being relevant, but, like, it's hard to plan for, like, what you're going to do in 20 minutes time if it's unlikely you make it through the next 5.
Yeah. One thing I'm kind of impressed by Pashas drafts. Like, this is another one that really comes together. Like, it's just the polar opposite. It just, of the drafts we've been seeing from Phoenix Knights. Just very clean, very easy to looking to execute. They got tanky frontliner guy and a bunch of damage people. Works every time. Works like a charm.
Phoenix Knights don't feel like drafts, though. They feel like individual good picks.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean.
Yeah, they don't.
It's a lot of, like, this hero is good, this hero is good in this situation, this hero is good in this situation.
Yeah.
But not really much of a thought to cohesion.
Yeah.
It's very much a problem of, I know you mentioned it at the start of the first game, that they're players that have kind of just came together as well. So
yeah.
they don't necessarily know what everyone's good on, what everyone can gel on. Whereas I feel like these other guys have played quite a few games together at this point.
I think it's something a lot of teams do as well when they haven't played a ton of captain's mode in general, or like if their captain hasn't necessarily. You're a lot more inclined to being like, well, this will be a good pick for this person, as opposed to the team needs this. Like, they came in with this 3-inch hero very, very early, and we were talking about how, you know, like, it's got very slow base CC, but doesn't have a lot of stun base CC, and that's really being punished by the Weaver Ember. But they've force picked a Bristleback, and sure, that's a really strong hero with a ton of damage, but they already had CC issues. And they went in for this.
Yeah.
And then after that, they went back for the Lifestealer, which is a 5th pick hero that also does, like, they're so invested into slows.
Yeah.
Oh, Lifestealer got caught. It's unfortunate.
Meanwhile, Asuna is playing with them in the background.
Yeah, brutal. Absolutely devastating.
And that Tide is getting his value. He did go the same build again, by the way.
Yeah.
I
haven't seen a lot of ads. Yeah.
I think I get the idea. If you're this far ahead, you want to just push. You want to get it. It's like I was saying last time, right? It's kind of like getting drums in terms of like a big value or item, but one that feels a lot better on Tide. Because it is like an old school Tide build.
It works really well for this timing that they seem to be aiming for every game as well. This 20-minute, we're winning.
He's getting an AC to follow it up. Like it's very clearly like, I'm pushing, we're ending the game.
Looks like they're not GGing out. They refuse to surrender.
Trent's got a solar crest. That's the turning point.
Jesse James would never be taken alive.
No.
Just impossible to take a team fight here. Like, there's no way to get on top of anybody. There's
no, you're way too far behind. You need them to make a weirdly catastrophic mistake.
Oh, okay. Looks like Bristol's going in.
Oh, they're catching the Tusk. Are they?
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, they got something.
I mean, honestly, it might force them out of their base for a while. They have no Tusk, no Aegis. Like, maybe they leave. Technically, that's a defense.
I'm actually kind of surprised that they left.
I think it's a safety thing, right? Like, that is a big way you lose this patch. You just overextend into high ground.
Fair.
Whereas, like, their Tusk is dead, they don't have Aegis, they know Aegis is up soon. It's actually up in 15 seconds, but they know it's up soon.
Yeah, makes sense. Jesus
Plus, their Tide has an AC coming out. Like, how do you possibly lose on the next push?
This is almost 3 times the net worth of on like.
It was 4 times earlier.
Yeah, absolutely devastating.
Proportionally, he's coming back.
Yeah. It's getting harder and harder to maintain over time, but holy shit, like.
The Treant is in fact catching up on the.
Yeah.
Spirit.
The Grimstroke is actually super farmed. He's almost got he's almost as farmed as Poltergeist.
Yeah, and he's getting the Hex as well, which will be like absolutely crippling.
Reziab almost just died.
The Grimstroke hasn't died yet.
Oh wow, he's been doing well.
I mean, he stands a mile back and presses.
Yeah, and then just presses buttons, and other people are supposed to go. Yeah.
Oh.
He's got a shard, and it's just his shard just doubles down on how utterly incapable these guys are of killing anybody.
Yeah. Because now, not only does their one route get dispelled, I mean, they have two, I suppose. Actually, no, Trent doesn't even have shard yet. They have one route and one stun.
So brutal.
Oh. Man, we didn't even talk about how bad the Grimstroke leash is for Earth Spirit. Like, I was only thinking the silence. This is, like, horrific.
Yeah. This game.
Close game, close game.
Yeah. This one quickly went off the rails faster than the last one did. I liked the support duo a bit more, but again, it wasn't enough, right?
I mean, I liked the support duo in a vacuum, but you basically have to play CC cores then.
They're a good start to the draft, but yeah, basically, you need to pick a stun.
Yeah, like a Centaur or a Kunkka or something instead of this Bristle, because I know Bristle is really powerful, but it's just not what your draft needed.
Yeah.
You had DPS. You're getting a core. I keep coming back to the Earth Spirit. I think the Earth Spirit was funky. It was playing very
overconfident.
Yes. Well, not even just the individual like hero and the play of it, just like it adds to the draft, and that like gives a little bit of CC, a little bit of silence and all that jazz, but it doesn't do enough of anything unless you're doing really well, and that's where the overconfidence comes in.
Yeah.
Like, you have to go into some of these games. I'm not saying go in with the defeatist attitude if you can't win, but you have to go in with like some level of, I'm not just going to absolutely outskill this person in lane. Like, you're going to outplay them in a game. The lanes might not necessarily be in your favor. Play around that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's an interesting 2 games, sort of.
Yeah, interesting games. Well played. Like, I think they're going to have to go back to the drawing board a little bit on the side of Phoenix Knights.
Key and I will be expecting your team to ban Phoenix against them in both games.
I think that would be. It's fun. If it's, I can't resist.
100%. We'll do the same. Like,
yeah,
I'll agree to it right now.
Right?
I will agree to it right now.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
But we'll ban Phoenix. It's just it's like too funny not to do, right?
Wheelchair emotes all round for any team who doesn't ban Phoenix against them.
It's all about the wheelchair emotes. All right. I mean, it was a fun game to watch. It was interesting to see. Who was the game that already happened?
There was Division 2 games, right?
I thought Mousy said there was a Division 1 game already.
There was there not? I could be wrong. I keep in mind I was away all week, so.
Yeah. Well, it was a good game. It was a noble attempt. Thanks to all the fans out there. You know, we do this for you. You know, you're the real heart. Follow us on Patreon or whatever. Smash that subscribe button.
Follow Kane on OnlyFans.
Yeah, follow me on OnlyFans. I'm paying for my mortgage. Yeah, like there's a lot of lessons to draw from that, I think, or quite a few. I think for one, pick stuns. That's number one. Number two is I just the drafts both times were, I think, a problem. I think both times for Phoenix Knights the drafting was an issue. I think they're just a little bit too. They need a game plan. It feels like they're drafting moment to moment to moment, right? They're just responding. I feel like Pashas had a game plan, right? They go in, they kind of know what they want, I think, and they know what they want to ban. I think part of how emphasized that was how the bans completely changed from one game to another, as in it was all reactive. Like as soon as Phoenix Knights lose to a bunch of things, they just ban that out, which clearly shows that they didn't do an initial investigation over what they didn't want the enemy team to pick.
With the exception of Night Stalker, yeah.
With the exception of Night Stalker. Well, I'm still kind of confused about that.
I'm pretty sure their offlaner played a shitload of Night Stalker during last season in the league, but
that makes sense.
To the point. I agree with you. I think it was very like reactive drafting. I think Pashas did probably the best case scenario, which is they went in with a vague plan. They probably had like a couple of picks not necessarily decided, but like semi like lockdown, and then they built off that. Like this Tide Hunter seems to be something they were like intending to do. Like they're going like, look, we're probably playing Tide unless such and such gets banned, right? Like it's the core of the draft, and then like probably the carries, like the Wraith King the first game was pretty early on, but like that I would imagine began out as an offlaner and kind of like transition into a carry, or even the Weaver in this game. It was just kind of an opportunistic thing. Whereas the Phoenix Knight draft seemed like entirely opportunistic. It's like, this is something we can play. This is good. Pick the good thing.
Yeah.
What do you think, Messi?
Yeah, no, I think you're pretty right on it, and like we both know you're more comfortable drafting than I am, because trying to think if there's anything to add to it really. But I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. It was a lot of people probably feeling like, oh, this is my hero, or I'm comfortable in this hero, whereas it didn't really gel with what they were doing, or there was no overall game plan going into the draft.
Yeah.
And it kind of showed in just very disorganized lanes.
Yeah, I think you can get away with that as well if you play
think you can too. Like, I
blindingly well.
For the record, I do think I do think we are going to win the laning phase is a plan, right? That makes sense, right? You pick those two, so that's why I like those two supports, because they both it indicates a plan. But the way they drafted past that point, only Lifestealer will win a lane, right? Generally supposed to. They got kind of blindsided by the swapping stuff around, but that doubles down on that. But then you have a Bristleback who basically does not win lanes. He tries to like farm it out, and you like a mid Earth Spirit who's you like pick in the middle of the draft, like that doesn't really tie anything together and doesn't really add anything. It's just kind of like a rock tied to your leg. Now it's just that there's no plan. There's clearly no plan. They need to work on that.
I also feel like their Treant player hasn't played Treant. Like, I don't want to just point out that he's level 1 on like
the same
which is a thing, but also just like the way he was playing it in lane didn't really feel like he was super comfortable on it. It felt like he was trying to play it like any other support, whereas Treant, you really need to abuse how easily you can move around the lane. And like that very high damage. A lot of time he's just kind of sitting there watching over his carry. Also, from what I can tell, his skill build was what is listed in Dota 2 Pro Tracker as the most popular build, but has been updated to be a different one since.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, the build is fine. I think it was the best case scenario build for him. Like, it's correct in the situation he was in. It's just, I don't know if he had played a ton of Treant just from watching it.
Yeah.
And whilst I don't think Treant's very hard to play, I don't think I would play it into like a Grandmaster Tusk.
Yeah. What the hell is with these guys' scores? Like, what is this? Like the level 30 Ember Spirit, level 30 Tusk. Terrifying. Jesus Christ.
So you gotta whip out the level 30s.
Yeah, that's way too many level 30s to have on a team, man. That's just haunting.
I don't think our team has any. Mousy, do you have 30 Rubik?
No, 25.
Okay.
The thing is that
my highest is Ember Spirit.
I don't think we have. Is I have level 30 on?
Yeah, he's 30 on Treant, is he not?
He's 25 on Tree. 25 on Tree, and I think he might also be 25 on Earthshaker. But he just doesn't like. The problem is that he doesn't play those heroes anymore. Yeah. As in, like he grinded out like hundreds of games of these things that he just doesn't play anymore because he played them too much and burned himself out.
I did that with Ember Spirit.
It's all my highest level heroes as well. It's the same as, funnily enough, what happened at LAN. Like, Imprint banned out a bunch of my most played heroes, and then they found out that I was playing a different role. It's just unfortunate.
To be fair, we got Ember banned against us a lot when I first swapped off mid.
Yeah, but like that's what I mean. It's like all my high level characters are ones that I'm not playing at all at the minute.
Every time I get a Naga Siren banned against me, I smile inside.
All right, so what's the plan? When's the next one of these going to be?
Don't know.
I don't think anything's been decided yet.
There's only 2 more games this week, right? When's your game, Cian?
We had to kick ours down the road because there's just a ton of like unavailability problems. One of our team members is a doctor, so he's got kind of iffy schedule. And on top of that, there's like a bunch of holidaying that didn't line up at all. So there's like a week where just people are gone at different points in time. So we were probably going to delay the one from this week to later on down the road. We're still just sorting that out.
Understandable. I think we're the only other game in Division 1.
Who are you guys playing?
Niall's team.
They're called Ninja Murakami or Murakami Soldiers or something like that at the minute. It's pushed off to next week at least so far. We just haven't been able to line up similar enough.
Yeah,
so yeah, there'll probably be a few extra games coming in the next couple of weeks for those interested.
Exciting for all those fans out there. You're why we're doing. You're why we're here.
Well, like you have a very big fan by the sounds of it, Kane. You must confirm for it's Sammy P if you have feet pics on your OnlyFans.
It's negotiable, right? It's on the table. It's fully on the table. There is nothing I won't give to the people if they demand it.
Fair.
I have no standards or borders or boundaries whatsoever. I will do terrible things for money.
And I think we'll leave it on that note. I hope you all enjoyed and have a good day.
That's it. Follow my OnlyFans. Thanks for the game, guys. Thanks for the game for all the players. Well done to both teams. For the fight that we witnessed. Hope we can all draw a lot of lessons from it. Congrats to Pashas soldiers. For their victory, for a close game, very close game. And good night.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.